Imagine a world where the stock market just went up and up and up. Wouldn't that be nice? But unfortunately, it can get volatile. And today I thought I would do a short talk on investing in volatile times, because I do understand that people can get anxious when they see their investments go down in the short term. So I thought it might be quite nice just to take you through a few of the concepts and ideas which might help you work your way through these volatile times. So when should we invest? Well, really the earlier the better. It's not a case of trying to time the market when trying to make sure things are down or up, or it's very difficult to do. In fact, if things are a bit lower, usually that's a good time to invest when prices are a bit lower. It really is impossible or extremely difficult to try and time the market. No one really knows what's going to happen from day to day, month to month, as we've seen this year in particular. So the main thing to do I recommend is to get invested as soon as possible, because it's time in the market that's the most important thing. And by staying invested over the longer term, it gives you the best possible chance to benefit from the magic of compounding interest. So what that means is that the returns that you make then get reinvested over time, and that creates an extraordinary difference in terms of your long-term investing. If a short delay can make such a big impact upon your longer-term returns. So if you'd invested, so question time here now. So if you'd invested £10,000 a year in 2002, your investment would be worth £750,000 today. So that's just investing £10,000 a year in the world stock market index from 2002. Your investment would be worth £750,000. But let's say you were nervous, a bit anxious, and then you delayed investing for 5 years, and then you invested in 2007, £10,000 a year from 2007. What do you think the value of your investment would be today? Well, the answer is 450,000. Only 450,000. So you'd have lost out on over £300,000 worth of valuation in your investments just by delaying your investments for 5 years. So that's the power of investing over the long term and compounding interest over time. How long should you invest? So again, it's a real myth that successful investors are the ones that are buying and selling and timing the market. That is almost always a really unsuccessful strategy. So it's not buying and selling, it's not trying to time the market, it's time in the market. And by that I mean a minimum of 5 years, if not longer. Really investing is getting in the market as early as possible and investing over the longer term. And it's riding out these short-term waves in the market. So, the stock market kind of goes like this. So it'll go up and down, but over the longer term, there's a general trajectory upwards. So it's really kind of just riding through these short-term ups and downs in the market and just making sure that you're on that ride really over the longer term. In fact, if you'd invested £10,000 again 20 years ago in the world stock market, just in the index, by today your investment would have grown by over 500%. 500%. 500% just staying invested from 2002 to 2022 in the world index, stock market index. Five-fold increase. And that's the power of staying invested over the longer term. What should we invest in? So what should we actually be investing? I get asked that a lot when I'm walking around Westbury and Henleys, and what is the best investment what is the next investment to invest in? Well, the main recommendation really is to diversify. There's over 12 different main asset classes. We've got UK equities, European, world, emerging markets. We've got bonds, gilts, commercial property, alternative investments. There's all sorts of different asset classes, 12 main ones, and then underneath, lots of different ones beneath that. And nobody really knows what's going to be the next best investment in the following year. So the main advice is to diversify. Why put all your eggs in one basket? And that will iron out any of the risks. It will make sure you're not taking any undue risk with your portfolio. And it will just ensure that you're well diversified and you're reducing the amount of investment risk for your portfolio. For instance, UK shares might be the best performing asset class one year, the worst class the next year. So from year to year, each asset class will be performing or not performing. But the great thing about diversification is in one year, one asset class might be doing not very well, but another asset class might be doing really well. So that'll just kind of buffer out the returns and perhaps make the investment journey a little bit more comfortable, over the longer term. Do we take advice? Do you take advice with your investment planning? So a financial advisor will, well, first of all, listen to your current life and financial situation, and then they'll create a financial plan over the longer term which will marry up all your lifetime goals with your finances. And that will include not just your investment plans, but also estate planning, your tax, inheritance tax, long-term care. Any goals that you may have will be incorporated into this plan, and that will be reviewed ongoing over your lifetime. So that will give you importantly, that will give you a very objective view of the situation, and that will ensure that we don't take any knee-jerk reactions or react unduly to any short-term stock market fluctuations. It'll keep you focused on the long-term plan, the long-term financial goals that you have. And in fact, studies have shown that people are four times more likely to stay invested if you're with a financial advisor. And that is, I can't understate the power of that, because we've just gone through the power of staying invested over the longer term. So you're 4 times more likely to stay invested if you're with a financial advisor, which is huge. In fact, if you, again, numbers time, if you'd invested £10,000 in 2002, just in the world index again, that £10,000 would just be turned into £56,000 by staying invested over that 20-year period. Again, you can just see the power of staying invested over the longer term. So £56,000. Now, just missing the 5 best days in the stock market over that 20-year period, how much do you think that 56,000 will be worth now? So you've invested £10,000 in 2002, but you've come out of the market in the best 5 days in that 20-year period. How much do you think that 10,000 will be worth in 2022? The answer is just over 40,000. So just missing 5 days in that 20-year period reduces your return from 56,000 down to 40,000. It's an incredible difference in your return. And if you'd missed the best 25 days in that 20-year period, how much do you think your investment would be worth? So you'd invested £10,000 in 2002. You've invested the whole time, but you've come out of the market in the best 25 days in that period. 18,000. Just 18,000. So your return has dropped from 56,000 down to 18,000 in that period. It just shows you the power of staying invested, over the longer term. I hope that's been helpful to give you more of a clearer idea and some useful kind of independent, objective concepts. I know you get bombarded all the time with bad news on the TV and on the internet, on social media. But it's my job to kind of give you the reality, the bigger picture reality really, and keep you on plan for your longer term goals. If there's anything that's grabbed you of interest, please don't hesitate to reach out or pop by. You know where we are on the High Street in Westbury. And I hope that's been useful. And we'll see you next time. Okay, cheers. Bye-bye. Bye.